The first cut involves the partial or complete removal of the clitoris. This is most similar or the best parallel to the male circumcision. The second cut, type 2 cut, is the complete removal of the clitoris alongside the partial or complete removal of the labia minora. So, type 3 is not as common, but it involves the majority or complete removal of the external genitalia. That includes the clitoris, the labia minora, and the labia majora. Alongside, yeah, there's more, alongside the narrowing and stitching of the vagina. The last type, type 4, is essentially, in my opinion, a other field. It includes everything that we talked about in type 3, but it's like far more extreme. The main thing I want you to remember about type 4 is that it normally involves the complete stitching of the vagina. Some of the extremities that can be found in type 4 include the stretching and or burning of the clitoris. Also, you can find within this type the introduction of materials into the vagina, such as herbs. I bet you're wondering, where are they doing this? Who is doing this? And why are they doing this? For the WHO, Egypt, Ethiopia, Ghana, and Somalia, which has some of the highest rates of FGM. But the WHO is a little blurry because it is practiced kind of worldwide. There's cases in both the US and the EU. It is
Yeah,
totally
you're
not a
done.
different
Wrap it
day
up.
in
Ma'am, go
broad
ahead,
daylight
Mom.
outside, but who? It's important to talk about who the girls are. The girls who typically go through the procedure of cutting is typically girls from ages 7 to 10. I mean, across cultures, it can span between infancy to 15 years of age. Some of the main issues with the practice of FGM is the fact that majority of the procedures are performed by unlicensed at-home practitioners. These unlicensed practitioners mostly use common items such as knives, razors, scissors in order to make the incisions, and even in some extreme cases, they'll use sharp rocks or glass in order to go through with the procedure. These common items are typically not being cleaned, which opens up a door for the spread of infection and disease amongst these young girls. For the women who go through type 3 and type 4 cuts, they have long lasting complications. These complications include difficulty menstruating on top of just peeing. Their holes are being covered so much that it is difficult to pee, it is painful to pee. Can you imagine that? I go to the bathroom like 10 times a day. So if every time I went, it was just pure pain and anguish, I don't think I could live like that. Other complications with type 3 and type 4 cuts are difficulty having sex and complications during birth. These complications include higher chances for hemorrhaging, prolonged labor, and for the mother to not survive. This last issue is probably the hardest for me to talk about. So, this procedure is often performed without anesthesia. I'm reading this just so you know. Um, some of the side effects of this include long term pain, potential infection, damage to organs such as the urethra, and the patient could even go into shock and die. Yeah. I have I can't say anything more about this because I'm gonna get upset and start saying bad words. So Let's move on to the next thing. Some of the extremities that can be found in